Survivor's ready. If anybody has a hidden immunity idol and you want to play it, now would be the time to do so.
The queen stays queen.
You said rustle feathers.
Did you do that?
Yeah.
We have ripe bananas all the time.
Dude, my prize isn't even $1 million. My prize was that I fell in love in this game. Love at first sight. Her name is Candace.
You officially go down as the dumbest survivor ever.
Welcome to Not Game, All Personal. Hey, we are a Survivor podcast here, talking about all things Survivor, more specifically the events of this week's episode, Season 50. I'm Nathan, this is Tony. Tony, we have survived the Blood Moon.
We've survived the Blood Moon. I didn't think we'd make it.
I didn't know that was something we had to worry about until this week, so I was scared.
You obviously haven't
now
been
I'm not.
paying attention to the lunar cycle.
That's accurate. That is not something that is on my radar. if I'm being
think
for real right now.
That's fair. It was not on your
I'll be
radar.
honest. I'll be honest.
I appreciate that honesty. I don't think I'm surprised like that so many people got eliminated. Like I don't know if we said it on here, but that wasn't the most surprising thing that they picked off a bunch of people. And I'm glad that they all had a chance to win immunity and like it was a vote, which feels like it should be a given, but this last Big Brother makes us question that a little bit. So I don't know. Am I happy with the people that went home? No, I'm not. But hey, at least it was fair and square.
Yeah, I will say in terms of the boot order, or just like looking at these three names, for me personally, pretty bummer of an episode. I'll just say that. Not thrilled with the results. That is, twist aside, not happy with how it went. Now, the twist itself, let's start there. I feel like
sure.
I'm in this weird in between where I had some fears. I saw some theories online. I'm like, or people were like, is this where Mr. Beast shows up and just eliminates half of them, just for kicks and giggles? And, I'm very grateful. It was nothing over the top. It was like we said last week, we wanted at least everyone to have the chance for immunity. We didn't want like a back-to-back-to-back, someone gets screwed like that. Where I'm torn is I'm equally disappointed because this felt very hyped up to be the most straightforward non-twist ever. Like, what was unique about this other than instead of two teams, however you want to call it since we're merged, going to tribal, now it's 3 going to tribal. I'm not upset that they didn't do something stupid and bigger. I'm just saying, like, is this that rare of an event that Jeff needs to hype it up as such?
It being 3, I'm pretty sure it's the first time, and so maybe just the quantity, but it didn't feel like it shook up. It's the thing that I feel like we've talked about in the past, where if we had one vote where everybody voted together and you could kind of see who's on what side and then split them, I wonder if that would be more interesting because now like there are stakes. I don't know. Maybe it's better open-ended like this where they haven't really solidified anything yet. But I think it's just the 3. But I feel like this whole season has been talking it up a ton. I don't know. I feel like I was really positive or decently positive and just kind of ignoring the annoying stuff going into this week. And then this week, just like talking up like, oh, the Blood Moon. It's the craziest thing we've ever done. And spending like 4 minutes explaining how insane this is going to be. And then just being like, oh, so it's just 3 groups go to tribal and they're fighting for 3 different individual immunities. Okay, that's like, like you said, we've seen that a million times just in groups of 2. By a million times, I mean like 8 times. But you know what I mean. Yeah.
Okay, I got a little story to tell you.
I love stories.
This made me very happy last night watching the episode. I'm going to try to speak completely objectively of what happened. If you want to confirm with my wife, you can text her. This is what happened. We were watching the episode, okay? And as I explained, she's a very casual watcher. I don't think she has seen a full season of The New Era. Like, she kind of just watches the episodes if she's in the room with me. Season 50, she's locked in, okay? She knows Cirie. She knows a lot of these players. She likes Dee from The Challenge, which is kind of funny. Like, that's her reference point.
That's hilarious.
So,
yep.
she's like don't start the episode without me deal, okay? We get to when they're splitting up, and she turns to me completely sincere. I thought she was playing a bit. She goes, "Why? Like I thought they were merged." And I just blew it all. I wasn't even thinking. I was just like, well, yeah, they are. Like, not even like, just like clarifying, like, yeah, no, this is the merge episode. And she's like, no, it's not. And I said, what do you mean? She's like, they're splitting off. And then it hit me. And I tried to play it so cool. Okay. I was just following her train of thought, knowing that this was my moment to prove my point. And I said, what do you mean? They're merged. They're just splitting off now to multiple teams. She's like, that's not merged. And I said, what do you mean? What do you think a merge is? And I got to break the news to her of what has been happening and watch her have this completely objective realization of, I don't understand why did they say this is a merge? Why did they spend time on the beach together only to get split off? And then I got to explain to her how, well, actually, this is a little bit different. Typically, you have to earn the merge where you all vote together.
Which you missed. You missed that, didn't you?
I did. But
you don't get to rant about it.
You should have
You don't get to rant about it.
You should have seen her face explaining how however many people it is, 12 people voting together is not the merge. And then when you merge, you get split off. And my goodness, I have never felt so vindicated in my life. It felt so good. I was like, this is why I married you. I was just having the time of my life watching someone else just go through this like mental gymnastics of like, her whole universe was shattered. And all of a sudden she finally reached like where I'm at, where words don't matter. Words do not matter in this show. Jeff Probst can just say whatever he wants. And it's apparently true.
Well, I think we're pretty much it's pretty clear he can just say whatever he wants because he just keeps saying stuff about how incredible and how crazy it is and how the fans got to pick every part of the season and none of that's just not
we got to
true.
Design the individual immunity that the fans voted
the entire game.
This is what we wanted.
It's just, and see, like most episodes, I can live with that if the gameplay is interesting. And I think a lot of the gameplay has been interesting. But this episode just didn't have that. Like every single one felt like, okay, I know exactly what's going to happen here. Like I don't think I was surprised with any of them, and it was compounded with every single decision. But the two people that it was between in each of the three divisions, the person who I wanted to stay was the one who got voted out. Like I would have preferred Coach get voted out. I would have preferred who were all the other options. It wouldn't even let me divide it up.
Chrissy over
Chrissy,
Camilla.
Yep. And Jonathan? No.
Well, I think the Genevieve.
Jonathan was who I wanted out of that group.
Genevieve was pitching Devin, so I don't know if you would have liked that one.
Was she?
Yeah, because she was trying to get Christian to turn.
Oh, no, but they were scared she had something, so they were potentially going to vote Joe. So that was the split there.
Oh,
I was
maybe.
hoping that
Sure.
I would have hoped that they would have chosen Joe. So yeah, I don't think it was ever going to go the direction where it was Devin. So it was between Joe and Genevieve in my head, and I think that's how they presented it. So yeah, it's just one of those things. All of the people I liked went home, and that's always going to be a recipe for I don't like it. But also, it's just feels like they're just patting themselves on the back over and over, and just doing being like, this is the most insane thing we've ever done. It's like, not really. And also, I just don't believe you that happened with Elena. Sorry, I realized that's what the story you just told me.
I want you to text her right now and ask her. I promise you. Yeah,
what do you think of the merge episode? Should I just say, what do you think of the merge episode?
I would love to hear her response to that, yes. But yeah, I mean, outside of like, I don't know. I feel like this episode especially solidified with me a take that I've had before, but where I feel like this twist specifically, the merge and split off, but also just the amount of unknown that like this new era has brought, have like really hindered a lot of gameplay. And I think more so than ever, this episode, I feel like has screwed over players. I think there's like typical New Era seasons where it's like, oh, that's the luck of the draw. But it's because we don't know them. We don't know what they're capable of. So it's easier to just write them off. But like this one where you see like Genevieve get, I think, the most screwed this season, finding 2 idols, not being able to keep either of them. Every single rock draw gets placed with her enemy. Like, she has 0, you know what I mean? So it's like knowing what she's capable of and seeing how this twist pretty much ruins the season for her. It's like it's a real bummer. And I think I've mentioned before, but like I've really noticed that this does slow a lot of people's games down, because when you are aware that these twists can happen, you're not going to want to make big moves. Like this episode, there were no big moves to be made. It was all just very chalk, because like this was, I guess, like, you know, Jonathan turning on Camilla was probably like the biggest, you know, like that was a legitimate blindside.
Yeah.
Probably like the only move that was made this episode, you know, as far as like a strong strategic move. But when you have so many twists, you have players just playing defense all the time because they don't know what's going to happen next. And I think in previous seasons, when you can at least guarantee like it's going to be this many days until the merge, we might have a tribe swap, you can make bigger moves because you can calculate that into your long-term game. And I think even like that played into last week, where last week was a legitimate blindside against Charlie, right? That was a pretty large move, maybe the biggest move we've seen this season. And that immediately comes back to bite them because of the twists. Whereas if they weren't split off again, they could have, you know, built off of that. So I don't know. I just like don't like the precedent that it sets for players where, like, I don't know, Christian and Devins could be having very strong games, but this episode didn't show it because they just did the easy move and the smart move, and the smart move's kind of the boring move.
Yeah, I don't know if there's like a solution for that though. Like we've talked about a million times, like, yeah, sometimes the easy move and the smart move, it's not the most entertaining. And like, how do you combat that? I wonder if there's also a piece though. Like, I think, yeah, having these twists make it so you don't want to go like too off the rails, because I think we've seen a couple times, and I think we're going to see this next episode, like there's repercussions for turning on people that, like, these people are holding it against each other when they turn on people that they're supposed to be aligned with. So that's fun. But I wonder if like how many people are left as part of it too. Like it's just too early to actually make a big move and actually like plant your flag and like, this is where I'm at. And I think they've done that to an extent, and like a few places they've been like, yep, this is who I'm with, this is where I'm at. But there's still 14 people in this game. Like, that's a lot of people, and you're a long way from the end. And if I were to play, my thought process would be I'm making a move after the next 6 people get voted out. You know what I mean? That's the spot where I want to make the big move to like make my run. And is that the right perfect way? No, that's the way that I feel like would be the best way for me. But right now, like, yeah, you make a big move right now, people are going to forget in a few weeks when it's like 7 other people have been voted out and you're just sitting there not doing anything. And so why make the big move? Like, yeah, there's just not a ton of reward for that.
Yeah. I really wish, and again, I guess I had the chance to vote on it, and I probably didn't, so maybe this is my bad, but I would have loved to see like what would have happened with just a much more straightforward season, where like maybe there isn't even a tribe swap, because it's like, yes, the original Sela was like losing by a lot, like they'd lost was it 3 weeks in a row, or it might have just been 2. I'm looking. No, it was just the 2. It was just Jenna and Savannah that they voted off between the, you know? So like back in the day, we used to really whittle it down, you know? And again, I think like if we would have sent 2 tribes to tribal earlier on, we would have got to see more relationships solidify. Because I think like you look at, you know, like for Colby and Genevieve, 2 people that went home this week, like this was their first tribal council, and this is their 3rd tribe. Like their first 2 tribes, they didn't get to build off. So like all of that's just a waste. Like what's the point of building relationships if there's a high chance you're never going to be on the same tribe with these people again? And I don't like, it's just like, it feels too simple, and I'm sure I'm missing something of like why they do it this way. Like I'm trying to give them the benefit of the doubt, but it just feels like this is hurting the game. And on a season where you have like these legends and these legitimately great players that have proven themselves, like we're stopping them from getting the chance to play. You know, like Genevieve didn't get a chance to play. She really didn't, because the first time she's vulnerable, she doesn't have a lucky draw.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wonder with like a returning season like this though, like they already have these established relationships, and so I wonder how that factors into like how many swaps and things like that are needed. I don't know if this is, I'm trying to like figure out how, like, what this matters to it as I'm talking through it. It's hard to like I don't know. I'm confused in my own head. But like, yeah, because you have your original tribes, and ideally you're making like good relationships with them. And then the idea is you swap those tribes, and now you have other people that you have to work with and start making relationships with them. And then when you all come together, you have to figure out what you're going to do there. When you have all of these swaps, yes, they're not having the opportunity to like make decisions, but then also I was talking to my buddy yesterday, and he was talking about like these pregame alliances feel like they're just deciding everything at this point still. And I don't know what I've felt that in any prior season, and maybe I have, and I just didn't process it and wasn't looking at it that closely. Like I wonder how many, if they had a chance to go to a bunch of tribals, if it would have mattered, because they're always just going to go back to those people. And so they tried to do all of these swaps to try to make them not be able to like work with the people that they plan to work with. I don't know. Maybe that's the logic.
I think that's fair.
Externally processed my way to that conclusion, but
no. I do think that is valid, because I do agree these like pre-existing alliances feel extremely strong this season. But, and I'm not against a tribe swap, and I do think there's a time and place where that's important. I think it's more, my issue is more the combination of you had two tribes that never went to tribal, and then you swapped. You have someone, and maybe I'm just a Genevieve defender, I don't know. Like, you had her find two idols, and she didn't get to keep them. So, like, it's the combination of all those things that I think created this mess. Specifically with her game, but also like Colby's game too. Like, he got screwed because he never had a vote in the first tribal he went to. None of his allies that he, like, I think I'm disappointed because the first episode we saw him in a somewhat like out of character form some strong relationships with Genevieve, with Kyle, with Q. The problem is he didn't get to go to tribal with any of them. And the one tribal he gets to go to, he doesn't have a vote. So it's like the combination of all those things where it's like, I think we could tribe swap, but like, let's at least send more than one group to tribal before we do that.
Yeah, I think that Survivor has always had that piece of luck, and we've talked about that before. And I think that's a valuable thing, because you don't want it to be like just a straightforward thing. Like, the luck matters. What tribe you end up getting swapped onto matters. And I'm not saying that to absolve this, because I think the issue with having multiple, like, so many twists, and I like twists in Survivor. So like, if they just stripped it all away, I don't even know if I would enjoy it as much. Like, I might even prefer this if those were the options. But throwing so many twists into it creates the potential that all of the twists work against you. And I think we see that specifically with Genevieve, because I think with Colby there was also the piece that he was injured. Like, I think if Colby was healthy and good to go, I think that there's a chance that they just take out Coach there. Like, I do. I think it was partially like he's also hurt, so like, why do we keep him around if he's hurt? But Genevieve, yeah, it just, everything happened to work against her, and that's the nature of having twists where some are going to benefit, some are going to hurt. Like, sometimes it's just going to go against somebody, and it just sucks that it's someone we like. I wish it was someone we didn't like. That it's unfortunate. It really is. Yeah,
for sure. The other thing about, while we're on twists, now we can get to the actual tribals. With the boomerang idol specifically, and I had this realization, I think, when the merge hit and everyone's on the beach sharing information. It's kind of a bummer, because we've talked about this in the New Era Survivor, how there are no secrets. Just like every advantage, every idol is out in the open. the boomerang idol has only made that more the case because by default there is one person that knows you have it. And there's a pretty large chance that the person who knows you have it wants you out of the game. Like that's part of the incentive is if you give this to them and they're voted out. So like it could be your enemy. Like I think, Genevieve talked about like trying to set up Rizzo. So like now you have someone on another tribe knows it. So like I don't know, like when we get to merge and like everyone knows about all three idols, I'm like, well, they designed it to be like this. And that's frustrating. Like I thought this was a bad thing. Like I think most people agree that like it's not fun that everyone knows everyone's advantage, but like now the producers have designed it in a way to like force that to happen.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that concern about the boomerang idols when they were first proposed. And as soon as they started sharing about Aubrey's, I was like, oh no. I was like, everybody knows. And there's like the piece of not telling the person that you gave it to them and being secretive about that, but you also told a couple people of that as well. And everybody has these pregame alliances that they're just going to go back to and tell all of their, like, no matter who you were working with. And it's just, yeah. It would be nice if they had like an advantage that was public and then one that you had the option to just not tell anybody about. Like that would be too many idols. I'm aware that would be too many idols, but it'd be nice. And I think later on in the game, like if idols are played now, but people just hold on to these idols that everybody knows about because everybody's scared to vote for them, even though they never. I don't know. It's this whole thing, like. But hidden idols are fun. Secret idols that nobody knows about are fun. And we're just, what's the solution? Probably take away some of the Beware Advantage stuff and the Boomerang idol stuff. And then, but they feel like that's stale and boring, I guess, at this point. I don't know.
Yeah. I
have
think
them flip a coin on whether or not it's a Boomerang idol or a regular idol. Like something like that would even be.
Well, we've definitely done
yeah,
that. They definitely
have.
They have had a coin toss to determine. Right?
Yeah.
Wasn't that a thing? Didn't someone like flip a coin at Tribal once?
A safe, not safe coin. Yeah, a safe, not safe coin.
That's right.
Yep. I can't even remember who had it, but it was. I think it was not safe.
No, I can. Yeah, like as soon as you said that, I was like, oh, we've already seen. Like, we've seen it. We've seen dice. We've seen coins. We've seen. I don't know. Flipping cards, like everything. I think like all that to say, it's a bummer that they feel the need that they need to do something special because it's season 50 with all this stuff. And like I think I'm just under the belief that if you were to just bring these 24 people to this island, like that'd be enough. I really do. Like I think that would be enough. I don't know if it'd be the most exciting season ever and it wouldn't like get these, promo Instagram clips of like the blood moon's happening tonight, but like
yeah.
I trust that Colby, Genevieve, and Camilla are like entertaining enough, like I really do, and I think it's a bummer that they go out this way. But yeah, we should probably talk about them, and probably talk about other people.
Yeah, yeah, probably.
Off the top, we both took a massive hit, as all three of these people were people we drafted. You crazy. Had Camilla and Genevieve. I had Colby, which I think that I didn't do the math. I'm pretty sure that puts me in the lead.
Yeah, I think you're in the lead now because I only have two people left.
You had 2 weeks ahead of me because Mike White went out first, and Charlie went out two tribals later. But now I'm pretty sure I'm gonna. Unless one of mine goes soon.
Does their placement matter for this episode?
That's how I usually do it.
And last week, the vote outs were out of order. People said, and so we can't actually trust the order that they show us.
That is a good question. I guess. Do you think we should count that as the same number eliminated?
Yeah, I do.
I mean, I'm fine with that. I feel like that doesn't that doesn't hurt me, does it?
Well, Colby lasted longer than the other two.
Yes, but that would put Charlie closer to Mike White because it would remove Angelina from being the one in between them.
You're right. That's on me.
Yeah. All right, which tribe do you want to start with?
Well, that's the one that was flipped, I think, supposedly. What tribe do I want to start with?
Well, sorry, it's all one tribe.
Good save. Good save. It's so hard because usually I can filter on Wikipedia for what tribe they're on, but since they're not on tribes, I don't even remember who was in each group.
Well, I can
so
tell
this is
you.
going to be a struggle.
I
Okay.
can tell you
Let's
right
do
now.
Let's do the one with Joe in it.
With Joe.
I'm gonna make you figure out who it is.
Well, it was
without
Joe.
saying who got voted
It was
out.
Joe and Genevieve.
Okay.
And with Aubrey, Christian,
Yep.
and Devins.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was one where I knew it was going to be Genevieve or maybe Joe. Like I think that was the one that they were trying to sell us on as the potential option. And there just wasn't a path, I don't think. I think Christian, Aubrey, and Devins were always going to work together there.
Yeah, no, I mean, they definitely have a pregame alliance. Like, that's just for certain, you know? Like, they gave Aubrey the idol, and there wasn't a hint of, like, we're giving it to her to get her. Like, it was 100% like, we want to work with her. And
Yeah.
This Genevieve and Aubrey beef is so interesting. And I watched some, like, interviews today with Genevieve, and I could not get I couldn't figure out if she just didn't want to say what the real reason was, or she legitimately didn't know, because she was kind of walking this line where it was like, yeah, no, it was pretty rough. We just don't like each other. And it was like, well,
Yeah.
like, did something happen? She's like, I don't really know. What I heard was, and it was like, okay, I think you know more than you're saying, but like, because like a perfect world, I would hope that Genevieve could like latch on to that crew and go against this other, side that's forming. But for whatever reason, I think she just got grouped in with them. And I don't think they're wrong, because like she was working with, Colby and Steph. So like it wasn't a horrible move for them, but also I'm like in another season, like you guys should be friends.
Yeah, and I don't know. I feel like in Genevieve's original season, I don't know. I've said multiple times, and I don't know if you've ever actually agreed with this, but a big story of that season was Caroline, Rachel, and Genevieve all playing very similar games, and all seeing each other playing very similar games and wanting to get each other out. And then coming into this season, it feels like Genevieve and Aubrey, I think, are similar players in some ways. And so I wonder if that's just like, oh, she's playing the same game as me, and this is how I played last time, and I lost to that person. Maybe I'm going back to the like, what's the trauma that, or not, maybe not trauma, but what like scars do you have from your last time that you're bringing back? But like that's how she played the first time, and so there's a part of me that's not surprised that she recognized Aubrey as another game player and was scared of that and went for her. But there also could have just been a beef that we're completely unfamiliar with. Maybe one of them said talk trash about the other on something. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. It's just weird that we didn't get any what felt like true confessionals from either of them of like what the thing was. Because if there is a story there, I'd like to hear it. I would love to hear Aubrey talk more about her last season she played and how that didn't go well and how that's affecting her decisions now. I would love to hear Genevieve talk about like why she thinks she lost her season or couldn't get in, with a certain group and but like it literally feels like it just happened at that one moment at the beach where they're talking and it's like, things are weird. I don't think we're vibing. I think we should target each other. And it's like not fully satisfying, I guess, to see like so many episodes build up to this, and because it doesn't even feel like Aubrey won, which I think is the biggest bummer. It doesn't feel like she like got her. It feels like, oh, Aubrey got the lucky end of this draw, where you redraw, Genevieve wins this war, and it's just like such a whimper to go out on.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely see that. It's very unsatisfying. And honestly, it could just be... I could definitely see a world where it's just as simple as, I don't really like her. Like, just a weird vibe, and it just didn't work. Like, we just didn't connect. And so we're going after each other because we just don't like each other very much. Like, that happens too. And so I could definitely see a world where that's the case. But yeah, when each of these votes felt like they were decided just by the luck of the draw, that's a little frustrating. Like there was no actual gameplay happening. And I don't know. Yeah, that's the piece. That I feel like you just pointed out the thing that I was missing is just the unsatisfaction of just all of these being the luck of the draw, which I feel like I said that, but just something about that just clicked in my brain.
Well, it's also just kind of like a waste of a tribal, because do you think anyone can claim this? Again, maybe like Jonathan, and we'll get to that, but like can Christian or Devins or Aubrey claim this as a move on their resume? Like when you get to the end, can they point this as like, I made the decision, you know? Like it feels like this was the only option because of the draw. And so it's also disappointing for the people you're rooting for, even if they're safe, because it doesn't feel like it was a big move that they made.
Yeah, there's a part of me that thinks, are they looking for things to boost their resume at this point, or are they just still trying to get along? Because there's that balance of I just want to make it to tomorrow, and this sort of a twist makes it feel like I'm not trying to do anything crazy here. I'm just trying to make it to tomorrow, and I think that's why people kind of settle into those comfortable areas.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the piece of like, yeah, I'll make a move tomorrow, and Aubrey's gonna claim this. I feel like if she gets to the end and she's like, I saw Genevieve as a huge threat, and I got her before she got me,
Sure.
and Genevieve won't be there to point out you just got lucky with who you were with. Like your pregame alliance got you there. And so it's one of those things, if there's nobody there to refute your argument or your like gameplay, then it kind of just stands, I think.
Yeah, no, that's probably what's going to happen. And like, I don't know, like I am rooting for like I do like these people, you know? Like I think the combination of like
Doesn't feel
Christian,
like it.
Devins, and Aubrey is, well, that's the thing, is like I want to, like, and I am, but like after this episode, it's kind of like, oh, you know, like great, good job, guys, you did it.
Which we should be like excited to see this. Like Winners at War, all my favorite people were going early, and I was still really excited because it was still very interesting to see them all play.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe they just hid the pregame stuff more. Maybe this group just did it a ton more. Just like there's a lot more pregaming that happened. It's hard to say because there was a long lead up to like season 50's coming and it's going to be returners. Like I feel like it was talked about for so long that there was maybe there was more time for those conversations to happen. I'm not sure.
Yeah. What are we feeling about Joe now? Because I think my original suspicion was that there was some sort of unspoken alliance, whether pregame or not, that kept him safe on the Savannah vote. Because that vote still doesn't all like completely add up to me, especially in terms of like Devins having these confessionals where he's like, I don't like Joe, me and Joe don't get along, Joe's not going to vote for me to win if he's on the jury. But yet they kept him safe over Savannah. And now, like, once again, like, do we think there's anything there, or is he just such a non-threat that they're really just not concerned with him still in the game?
I mean, he's with the hard part with somebody, or the easy part with somebody who's like, oh, I'm not going to lie and I'm going to be honorable, is you can just count on them to do what they say they're going to do. Like, there's not a ton, they're not going to pull the wool over your eyes. At least you can hope so. And so maybe that's a piece of it. And it's this idea that, like, we know Joe, and so we can handle that more. I just don't know who would be the person in that early tribe that would really be like, hey, I got something set up with him. Like, let's not take him out here. You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't feel like they're like Christian, not really. Sari, maybe that's maybe the one I see the most. Emily, no. Ozzy, probably not. Rick, no. Like, yeah, it just doesn't feel like any of those people. Or do you think somebody close to Rick had something with him that he's trying to?
I don't know.
What do you?
I really don't. I just know
feel like there has to be something.
There has to be. Like, why is he like? Why would you keep him?
Mm-hmm.
It just, I don't know. Like, I could just be off, and maybe it's still just like being upset because I want Savannah to still be in this game. But like that vote especially made it confusing, and now here again, it just felt like, and maybe that's just like the edit that's trying to get me to believe they want him out, but when they are weighing the options, it felt like they were way more convincing and had way better reasons to get Joe out than Genevieve. And yet he's still here. They like, do they not see that he's going to be working with like these other people? I don't know. It's just like, to me, it makes perfect sense how that's not someone that's going to help your game in the long term.
Yeah, maybe it is just the non-factor piece. Like you know that he didn't do a ton of pre-gaming. Like he barely cares about the Survivor community, it feels like. So maybe they just view him as a non-threat because he doesn't have the connections that others do. I mean, people are really trying to wine and dine him now to like pull him in, because they're cut from the same cloth, of course, and so they're trying to. That's a specific thing, Chris. He said, but yeah, I see what you're saying. Feels like there could be something there, but I don't think we'll ever know for sure.
Yeah. Anything else on this grouping?
Nope.
Great. I feel like this was probably the most anticlimactic. Maybe. Real quick, before we get to another one, we probably should talk about, there was a fourth group, and that was Ozzy and Rizzo.
Yeah.
Is this the most OP advantage in Survivor history to skip 3 tribal councils?
That's a lot of trying to think about it that way. I mean, none of the conversations that are happening are like, we're locked in forever. Like, they're not missing that much gameplay where it's going to affect them that much. And Rizzo just getting picked, so clutch for him. Like, Ozzy actually had to do work. Rizzo's just like, oh, sick. I'll tell you I have my idol. I made it 3 votes. Yeah. Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot, for sure.
I will say, I think this grouping specifically, the Rizzo, Ozzy, Cirie, throw Dee in there. I think she's going to need it now that Camilla's like... I feel like they're going to be adjacent to the Christian Devons. Like, they're all still, kind of working maybe in the same direction for now. But, like, these people specifically, I think this is it. Like, this is where I'm putting my stock in. I want to see them succeed. I think Ozzy has been such a delight in terms of, like, how much better he's playing as I thought he would. And Rizzo too. I don't know. Like, just there's something about seeing a complete newbie charm these people that I find so satisfying. And I don't know. Like that's such a fun combination. Like Ozzy, Rizzo, and Cirie.
And the same way seeing like someone like Cirie just charm these people. Like it's both. It's the person who always does it and has been so good at is still just like convincing these people that they're in her good grade. Yeah, I don't know. It's so fun. I would definitely agree that that's the grouping. Maybe even more so than like Devons and Christian. I'm still rooting for them for sure, and I still love them forever. But I feel like that's the grouping that seems like it's the most interesting and seems like they're getting the most airtime as like the group that's gonna be a problem. Like if I had to pick a group that it felt like was gonna be the ones running the show, that feels like it. And they almost feel like a middle group between the eventual battle between the Christian Devons, Emily, and maybe some other people potentially versus the Coach, Joe, like old school, honorable folks.
Yeah. Right. And so I don't know. I think it's just like so fun. I thought it was very funny how by doing that they took away 2 of the 3 idols. And I do wonder, like, could there have been a better move to, because I feel like in Ozzy's case, he took Rizzo because he also wants to. He wasn't on a beach with Rizzo, right? So he's getting Cirie's, word of approval, of like, hey, I want to work with him, and so I think this was in a way Ozzy bringing Rizzo, like separating him, so that they could form that and really solidify it. But I think like if that wasn't necessary, I almost think it could have been better to let Rizzo go to one of these tribals with an idol, knowing that, hey, we need you there to protect one of our own in case, they need it. Because, like, by removing 2 of the idols, they could have helped someone. And I think, like, looking at who went home, like, I think Camilla's the only person, which at this point, like, Ozzy doesn't have a relationship with Camilla, so he might not care that much. And Cirie only voted with her 1 time, so that's not super strong. But I just thought that was kind of funny that, like, they're like lessening the odds of these players even more, where it's like Aubrey's the only one with an idol and everyone else is just out to dry.
Yeah, I didn't even think about just taking away the 2 idols. That's screwed over some people probably. Yeah, but you never know. It's one of those things that the divide could have been complete, because were they pulled out before they split up everybody? They would have been. And so
yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so that would have been fascinating to have all those idols available. Imagine all those idols are played at the same tribal.
Suri goes
Somebody
home.
gets Suri'd. Yeah, Suri goes home. Oh no. That would be devastating. Oh no.
I don't think that would ever happen though, because with Rizzo and Ozzy both there, whoever the fifth
If
person would
Rizzo,
have been,
Ozzy, Suri,
and then Aubrey
and
with the other
Aubrey,
idol.
and then D wins immunity.
Oh, there you go. Then yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that other person sees win immunity. Didn't happen, but crazy
Right.
scenario.
Thank God. Survivor would have been canceled. People would have rioted in the streets.
I would have been furious. I would have personally been furious.
All right, let's talk about the Colby Tribal. This one
Okay.
was as straightforward as it could be. Now, I did see in some exit interviews that his injury was kind of a lot worse than they made it out to be on the show. Like, he was almost removed from the game. And a large part of it was him just, like, they knew they were going to tribal. Like, everyone was going to tribal. So at this point, he was like, just let me go to tribal and get voted out, you know? And that's kind of what happened. So, like, it's not confirmed.
That's what I had read before I saw it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So it's not, like, confirmed that he would have been removed, but, like, that's where it was leaning anyway. So I think he just wanted one more tribal council, you know? So good for him, I guess. It's kind of a bummer.
I think he deserves to get to be there and get his torch snuffed. Like,
Yeah.
and deserves, does that matter in Survivor? Maybe not, but he's been around enough that I appreciate him getting that chance.
Yeah, it is just like a bummer though, because like I said, I think when the cast was first announced, I think we were both kind of down on him just in terms of like he had a good first season and then the next two just like didn't do anything. So like, what's he going to contribute? And I think it's the most tragic part is that we got a small glimpse of what could have been. You know, like working with like Kyle and Genevieve and Q, you know, and even Rizzo, right? Like just opening up to these, you know, new era people. And I was like, this is kind of fun, only to just like get voted out pretty early on. So like, it's a bummer that we got such a small taste because I could see the potential of like, this could be fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the saddest part with it. And I was really hoping that they would vote Coach out and then hope that Colby gets pulled, but they didn't do that. That would have been the dream scenario. I would have rubbed that right in my nephew's face.
Yeah, the biggest Coach fan in the world.
Yeah, what a weirdo.
Yeah, well, Colby also said in his exit interview that that did cross his mind, and he wanted to prevent that for his allies.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. Yeah.
Apparently, and we'll get to this a little bit, but Camilla has been very open about this. She calls it a Zoom alliance that was with Colby, Coach, Jonathan, and those guys. So, like, that is, like, 100% confirmed that was all in the makings. And
I don't think it needed to be. Like, yeah, you can be upset about it and be annoyed. Those guys were always going to play together. Like, just the way that they play. The only ones that's kind of weird is Coach and Colby. Because Colby's definitely seen Coach's seasons and definitely doesn't know he's as honorable as he says he is. But yeah, that was always going to be a thing just by the way that they play and that like old school vibe. Like that would definitely be the people they trend to. So yeah, we haven't gotten to that tribal yet, so I won't get into that. It was kind of cool to see. I don't know. It felt. I feel like they're doing this a lot, and it's reaching the point where if they do it more, it could start to be a bit much. But that tribal being Coach, Colby, and Suri, and letting it be like a legacy, like you guys are back in tribal after 15 years, and like, oh, this has been so cool to play. And then D and who was the other person at that tribal?
The other wait. Oh gosh. Oh, Emily.
It was Emily.
Yes.
Oh, I could have just looked. It's right on my screen. Yeah, Emily. And seeing that it's like, wow, they really did pave the way. And it was also very funny that the focus was so evidently on Suri and Colby more than it was Coach. Like it was those two talking for the first like the majority of it. And then yeah, it was just, oh, yep. And then Coach, you did stuff too. You got a feather in your hair? And he was like, yes, I do, Jeff. Yes, I do.
Oh man. Yeah, it was definitely a nice moment. That just was like, I think in hindsight, like on paper, not very exciting, but like, I think like this is what these seasons can be, and I feel like Winners at War, like even the issues you might have with it, like there were so many moments like that of like people just really soaking it in, like it's like this is my life, like this made me who I am. And I'm honestly like a little surprised we haven't gotten more of that. I feel, and maybe it's just because like we haven't had a ton of old school players get voted out. Like, is it just?
Yeah,
It's just Colby and Jenna.
Jenna. Yeah.
You know, I think like Mike and Angelina are not new era, but like they're not.
No.
Yeah. So like maybe
they
we'll
don't
get
fit
more of that.
classification.
You know, like I think if Ozzy or Suri, you know, are on the chopping block, maybe they'll have more of a time to reflect. But like it's fun. You know, it's really fun to see like Colby back out here, and hear that D was 3 years old when his season first aired, which is that part is just like I don't know how you handle that as Colby. You know, we'll get there someday, but like that's a tough pill to swallow.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a tough one. I got nothing.
I will say before we move on to the last tribe, or tribal, sorry, all the same tribe. I am very happy with Dee's positioning, and I
too.
want her to make a run. I know you want her to make a
Yeah.
run too, but
Yeah.
man, oh man, is she fun to watch? Is she fun to like? I feel like there's a path. I don't think
Yeah.
she's gonna like win the game, but man, her
I think she could.
her with Suri, her with Rizzo, jump
Yeah.
in with Ozzy, her and Emily are like tight now, which I did. I actually rewatched her preseason interview because this was a question we had last week of like what is their relationship, since they play together, and it was very interesting because in Dee's preseason interview, she talked about her and Emily, how like they were never on the same page during her season, but once she got Emily out, Emily was so respectful as far as like, yeah, I was going for you too. I get it. It's a game. And how much she like loved Emily after that moment. And she recognized that like Emily voted for her to win the $1 million, and how they have become close friends since that. And so
Oh yeah.
that kind of like made me really happy to know that like, okay, so this isn't like we play together, but we didn't work together. It's like they went through this experience. They acknowledge that. And so like, I hope it works out because like this is the group I want to see succeed.
Yeah. Yeah, I was talking to another friend of mine, John, the other day. I don't think he'll listen. He listened
You have
to one
so many
episode. I don't
Survivor
think he'll
friends.
listen. I know, it's great. They're just all getting into it. And so they're like, Tony, what do you think? Because like they know that I know it so well. And so like, what do you think? And he was like, yeah, I watched Dee's original season. He's like, I don't know why you love her so much. And I was like, I don't know what to tell you, man. Dee is sick. She's comfortably the best, one of, if not the best winner of the 40s. He's like, I just wasn't super impressed. And I was like, you're wrong. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, Dee's awesome. And I'm a big fan. And so, yeah. And that made me like second guess it. And then watching this episode, I was like, I just love watching her play the game. I don't know. Like when Coach was like, oh yeah, it was going to be you. And she's like, well, why didn't you tell me that sooner? And he's just like, busy. Like, I didn't know what to say. And he's immediately like, I didn't know what to say. Like, that was on me. I screwed that up. Like, she called me on it like she should have. And I just loved that moment. It was so fun.
Yeah. No, it's, I think, and maybe this is a bad take. I feel like it's similar to the way that Rizzo plays as well, where it is this combination of social And you don't always understand it if you just see bits and pieces. But like when you see the results, it's like people want to work with her. You can't always pinpoint why, but for whatever reason, it's like the way she has conversations. She's like the perfect amount of like direct. She knows who to talk to when. She knows how to lower her threat level, because when was the last time anyone acknowledged that she's the only winner left in the game? It's been a minute.
Yeah. And like those conversations have to be happening, but it just doesn't. It feels like she's going to get voted out next episode, and we're going to look stupid for going on this 5-minute talk about how great Dee is, because that's how it always goes. But she's great. I'm such a big fan.
Yeah, and I am really rooting for her and Tiffany to just lay into Jonathan next episode. I want that more than anything.
Hey, they gave Tiffany 2 confessionals that were pretty meaningless this episode, and there's a part of me that's wondering if they added in those confessionals just to like catch her up to Zach Brown.
Well, I don't know.
It's on the table.
I don't know how online you've been, but it feels like Universal at the Survivor community is not happy with the way the Senate is going this season.
Yeah. Yep. I heard Angelina was going in on it, and yeah. And then I saw 2 confessionals where she didn't really add anything too interesting, and I was like, oh, I wonder if those were always meant to be in there. It didn't feel like it was much at all.
They just had to find something.
Yeah. It's like, oh, we're about to go to a challenge. It's like, thanks for letting us know that. Dynamite confessional.
All right, should we go to this last tribal?
Yes.
All right. This was probably the most strategic as far as it was an actual blindside. Someone had to make a big move. Now we can discuss whether or not that was the right move, But it was a move, and it was a blindside. That's that. And I'm not happy about it.
No, neither am I. But honestly, if you had told me these groupings of 5 and like who the 2 potentials were to be voted out, I think I would have been most confident in the vote going this way. Like I would have bet always that Jonathan was going to go with the older crew, the old school crew. Like it just wasn't. There wasn't a tension for me. I just always knew that's where his heart was going to land, and I didn't think that Camilla was going to change that. I didn't think anybody was going to change that. Like that, it wasn't. Yes, it was like the only strategic move where somebody was actually blindsided and didn't see it coming. But for us, I feel like it was just so clear that that's the decision he was going to make.
Yeah, and I don't know how much. Like, and I watched the exit interviews. Camilla did seem like legitimately blindsided. I feel like how could you be? Like, did you really think he would work with you? And I almost wonder, and she mentioned it too, like kind of her comments at the end, where she's like, drag this man through the mud, which I personally found very entertaining.
Yeah, I think it's fun.
I think she acknowledged that she tried to play that up a bit, where it's like, yes, you knew this was an option, but also Tiffany is still in the game, and you want to do something to like make it clear that this wasn't okay. As far as like, he better, get some repercussions for blindsiding me.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. Because like it really felt like they did not see this coming. And I'm like, did you really think he would work with you? Because I think to everybody preseason, during the game, you knew he was going to go with these people. Like as much as he's saying he's Jonathan 2.0 and he wants to play different, like he's not going to. He's just going to play with these guys,
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. He's just going to fall back into like what's comfortable. Because when you're out there for that long, that's what you're going to do. You're going to fall back to what's comfortable. And old school is comfortable for him.
Yeah, I dislike this man so much. I don't know what else to say. He's just so annoying.
I don't think I'm there.
Here's the thing. He has my opinion on him, which I know he doesn't care about, is really riding on what happens next episode, because right before Tribal Council, he had a confessional where he literally said, "I don't lie in this game." I like, and this is what gets me, and I've gone on this rant so many times. I don't care if you play the game different than the players I like. I don't care that you lie. I don't care that he blindsided Camilla. What I'm going to have an issue with is how he handles it next week. Does he own it? Or does he act like, no, this is not, and this honor and integrity that all these losers think that they hold so tight and dear, like, that's what's bugging me, is because they are the most hypocritical people that have ever played this game, and Jonathan is included in that. Like, I don't know how you can look down on people and think you're so much better than them, acting like you don't do the same thing.
Yeah, to get through this game and not lie is you telling everybody I'm voting for you. And nobody does that. Like, even Joe, who's like the like straightforward, honest, like he's the person.
He's more honorable than
Survivor.
Coach.
He definitely, which
from Coach's words,
high bar. That's crazy. That's crazy of Coach to give that up. Just a quick sidebar. Watching him do the like wall challenge again, and then flashback to Tocantins when he went to exile, and that just great memory.
Pretty
so
cool.
ridiculous.
Pretty cool.
It's just so good. But yeah, like he definitely lied in his season. He definitely didn't tell people that they were getting voted out. Like it's that annoying, like, oh, I didn't lie. I didn't tell you. And it's like, I don't know. It's just hiding behind technicalities and like, oh, I didn't have a choice. And yeah, you just can't. That's not the nature of the game, unfortunately, for them.
Yeah. Yeah. So all that said, I don't know. This is a bummer of a tribal. Like I get why he did it, and I do think it makes the most sense for him. Perhaps. Yeah. Like, but here's the thing. Before we end, can we quickly go through some of these people and see where they line up? Because I do have hope that this honor and integrity alliance will not stand the test of time. Okay. So.
Okay, let's look at these numbers.
Here's who I got that would be aligned with those people. We got Chrissy.
Yep.
You got Coach.
Yep.
You got Joe.
Yep.
You got Jonathan.
Yep.
You got Steph.
Yeah.
Is that it? Now, the only person who's kind of in this weird zone is Aubrey, who made an effort to want to work with Coach.
Yeah. So there's Aubrey. I think I would add Sari just to like, she is old school with these people and has played with several of these people. And
but
so I wonder if that would factor in.
I don't think so at all.
I wonder if
because she has had confessionals specifically like outlining how their style doesn't work anymore.
I know, but I wonder if she would like work to protect one or another of them, or Ozzy. I feel like those are the two that it's like, would Ozzy like try to protect Stephanie? Like, is there anything there?
That's my other question.
They actually haven't played together, but like those are the questionable ones. Where is that factor anywhere powerful enough for them to at least try to like flip the vote to somebody else or bring one of them in or anything like that?
I would say no, mostly based on who they have been working with so far this season. And I think you also have to remember the Ozzy Coach dynamic, which we haven't seen them come back to it yet. Like, I don't think Ozzy's going to just jump into this alliance of bros that is led by Coach. I really don't.
Ozzy versus Coach, Devins versus Joe. Like, we got some clashes coming.
As a matter of fact, Jonathan. Like we saw, Ozzy and Christian really make up this episode. Like it feels like they're back. So like I fully expect Ozzy and Sari to ride with them more so than with Coach.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. And Coach not so much, but I could see like Stephanie, her wanting to like bring Stephanie in, even though Stephanie's on the other side. Stuff like that. Yeah. I just think that's the only potential in that era. I think Jonathan voting out Camilla, I think most of the new era people are going to see that as, oh, he's not working with us. All right, frick that guy.
Yeah. And this is what gives me hope, because when you do the numbers, they're outnumbered. That's 9 people who I didn't include there. So, like, again, let's say those 3 I mentioned, Sari, Ozzy, Aubrey, like they're not as lit, but like you got Christian, you got Devins, you got Dee, you got Emily, you got Rizzo, you got Tiffany.
I think
It's not a solid group, but those are all people who are connected
yeah.
with each other in some facet. You know, you have the Christian Devins and Emily trio that is now including Ozzy. You got Emily and Dee, who, you know, kind of includes Sari, and then Dee and Tiffany with Rizzo in there. So it's like they're all loosely connected despite they haven't all been together yet.
It genuinely feels like voting blocks, which is always a treat to see voting blocks. It feels like there's the two separate sides. There's the honor and integrity fellas, plus Stephanie and Chrissy. So not all fellas, actually almost half not fellas. Honor integrity folks. Don't know why I clarified all that. Versus like, I feel like I see Devins, Christian, and Emily as like the opposing force to them for some reason. And maybe it's just because Devins has had beef with them already. And then I see everybody else as kind of like a middle bridge where they're going to play the middle ground and kind of pick off from each side potentially. And maybe that's not right, but that's the image that I see in my head of like where the sides land on this.
Perhaps. I just hope they can get organized to figure this out. You know, like that's my biggest thing.
Two of the people in that honor integrity group are going to make it deep, and it's probably just going to be like Stephanie and Coach. I feel like everybody else is going to get picked off.
Here's where I'm leaning right now, okay? Then we can wrap this up. I have a fear that Coach is going to go really far. I think he has been a dominating narrative despite this being his first tribal council. It feels like he is a major storyline.
I think there's a chance he wins. I really do.
I do too. I would throw him up. I still think Aubrey, to me, is like, you know, a second half strong main character. I would throw him up there too. I think like the two of them.
Ozzy's probably got some main character.
Mm-hmm. And I would also say I can see a real easy path where Joe gets to the end again and doesn't get any votes.
Yeah. That sounds about right.
That's kind of
I
like,
can
those
see
are
it.
the vibes I'm getting. And like, out of all those people, I'm like, that's not the most exciting winner. So like,
No.
if it's like Aubrey, Coach, and Joe sitting there with an Aubrey win, like that's okay, maybe.
Yeah.
Cool. Happy 50
can live with it, I
seasons.
guess. Coach losing again would be funny.
It would be funny. Joe losing again would be funny.
Would be funny. Aubrey finally winning would be a treat.
It would be a treat. I just want her to play more of the game that I enjoyed from her previously. You know, like that's kind of where I'm at. So I don't know.
For
I'm
sure.
hopeful. Like next week, we're apparently merged. You know, 14-person tribal.
Merge.
I don't know. Sure. But yeah, I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful because the numbers are on our side, and there's still more people in this game that I like than I don't. So that's cool.
That's cool.
That's all I got. Anything else?
I don't think so. Did I text you something? I almost texted you something.
Just now?
No. This like
During
morning
the-
when I was watching.
I don't think so. Did you?
All right, cool. Then I must have already said it.
Great. All right.
I almost texted you something, so I'd remember to mention it on here, but I must not have. I don't remember what it was.
Bummer. I'm sure it was great. Well, for more episodes, visit notgameallpersonal.com.
Hey.
We are on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Anyone listen to podcasts, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube at NGAPpod. That's at NGAPpod. I'm Nathan. This is Tony, and we will see you next week.
18 seasons, 2 pals, 1 podcast.